breaking news here on Colts Talk. Colts fans, you got your quarterback. A 2-year deal for Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is re-signing with the Indianapolis Colts. Forget the transition tag. It is a 2-year, $88 million deal for Daniel Jones. Alec Pierce, Daniel Jones, they are back with the Colts. If that's what you wanted Chris Ballard to accomplish, consider yourselves happy because that is what Chris Ballard has done. He gets Daniel Jones a deal, all of it done, and I'm pretty happy that it's not a crazy long one, but it gets you your quarterback back for multiple years. Some of the details behind this bad boy of what we are learning right now. It is a 2-year, $88 million contract. $50 million in the first year is what the early reports are. And it is the largest 2-year contract in history. Again, those are some early reports there. This contract for Daniel Jones could be up to $100 million, over the 2 years with his incentives. That's right. So your 88's the number, 2 years for 88, about 44. The transition tag was going to be just under 40. Chris Ballard heard your cries. Chris Ballard made his decision. He went at it on deciding what the decision would be for Daniel Jones, and the vibe stayed. They want their quarterback back. They don't want him on a tag. It's a 2-year, $88 million contract. Again, he'll get 50 in that first year, and this is the largest 2-year contract in history. Kind of funny, double history for Daniel Jones. First, he was going to get the first transition tag in about 30 years. Now he gets the largest 2-year contract in the early reports, just history from Jordan Schultz, NFL insider, noting it's one of the largest in history. So, Colts fans, it is time to hear from you. Grade the Daniel Jones contract, the signing, however you want to put it. A, B, C, D, or F. What are you guys thinking as of right now? Early thoughts, A, B, C, D, or F on the Daniel Jones contract. It is 2 years. It is $88 million. Big number. Hey, but you want him. You got him. That is the deal. So leave us a grade. This will be our pinned comment down below. I'm giving it a B. That is my grade for the Daniel Jones contract. Biggest thing for me, and I've talked to you guys about this, was I still have a lot of questions about Daniel Jones. The health, the play style, the ability. I still have a lot of questions about it, right? He's coming off a major injury. That's a big deal. Again, we went through his career history. He's been good 2 out of 7 years in his career, right? So you have more bad than good. And I understand he was with the Giants, got playoff run here, and did some Minnesota time. In his career, he has had more bad seasons than good seasons, right? I get it can be about framing and how you like this and how you like that, but that's my current vibe on Daniel Jones. The worry for me was that it was going to be some sort of like gigantic 5-year, 50 a year for 5 years. That is kind of a little bit of what I was getting worried about for me personally. So the part of the B grade for me also plays into the fact that, it's 2 years. And I think that's really, really good because you have your quarterback this year, you have your quarterback next year, and then you can kind of figure it out, right? Does Jones deserve more, or do you need to move on? Again, I actually think that's like the perfect time frame, Daniel Jones, as far as that goes, because I just didn't want to see a 5-year gigantic deal, and then you're locked in on a Deshaun Watson-esque situation with a guy where it's like you just want a quarterback that bad that you're going to pay Daniel Jones that much money, right? And that was my fear. Clearly, Chris Ballard recognized that doesn't need to be 5 or even 4 or even 3. He ends up going with the 2-year contract for Daniel Jones. I give it a B. That's exactly where I feel like the Colts should have been and needed to be, and that's exactly where they land. So I'm giving the contract a B. Again, you can leave your grade down below. Real quick before we review the stats and look at a little more from Daniel Jones, and we're going to talk about the free agents still left on the board. Be sure to subscribe. We told you free agency was going to be crazy. Well, guys, it has not let us down. Free agency has been nuts for the Colts. It looked like no Pierce, Jones tag. Now we get Pierce back. There was a Jones tag, trading Pittman, and still more moves to make. So you got to be sure you hit that sub button because we are talking about all the latest with the Indianapolis Colts. All right, Daniel Jones, like I talked about, it's ups and downs. That's what it is with this guy. It is ups and it is downs. And again, it's that 13 games last season that really gave you such a hope and such a confidence that the Colts had found their guy, right? You really felt like Indianapolis had taken a step in the right direction as a franchise and at the quarterback position. I know the search since Andrew Luck has been brutal. And finally, it looked like they found their guy, and it ends up being a major injury situation with Daniel Jones, which is truly unfortunate, right? That really stunk when he got hurt, and the Colts collapsed. We know they traded for Sauce Gardner. Everybody was looking good. Things were working. You spent first-round picks. Steichen was clicking as a coach. His staff was looking good. Then the injury, then the fallback. Overall, the Colts are running this bad boy back. Pierce is back. Jones is back. You're going to try and make some improvements through the draft. I really almost thought I think they would have ran Pittman and Franklin back if they could afford it. They had to move on from those guys. But, hey, you have decisions to make in those situations. But mainly, for me personally, the vibe is that the Colts are running this bad boy back. And, I think that's pretty clear, honestly. Pierce is back and Jones is back, and they did everything they had to do to make it happen. So, real quick, Daniel Jones is back. Let's show a little love. That's what we like to do here on Colts Talk. Head over to the like button. Hit that thumbs up button. That'll let me and other Colts fans and Daniel Jones know that you want to welcome him back and let him know that the Colts Nation is happy to have him back as QB1. So be sure to hit that thumbs up button right now. Before we wrap up, did just want to note, looking around, the slim pickings is where we're kind of starting to get free agency-wise. Guys are finding new home. Pat McAfee was talking Daniel Jones or Kyler Murray. Well, Kyler Murray still unemployed. And a lot of options I still kind of like around the league. We've talked about a potential Tyreek Hill fit in Indy. And, yeah, you do need to replace Michael Pittman, so we'll keep an eye on that. Still need some edge rusher help. Trey Hendrickson signed with the Ravens earlier today. So I'm keeping my eye on Joey Bosa. I think that is a possibility for the Colts. We're also still keeping an eye on Nick Cross, has not signed yet with a team for Indianapolis. And then guys like Cam Jordan, kind of surprising, hitting the market. They're feeling things out. They're trying things out. So I think the Colts have options on the free agent market, but definitely less. Again, Trey Hendrickson, he's out, so that was a major target for you. I also do want to note the Colts made a move earlier today to restructure the contract of Bernhard Raimann, the offensive lineman. That freed them up $8 million in cap space. Then the Jones deal happened. So those two things kind of correlated. Got to be sure to hit that sub button here on Colts Talk. We'll bring you all the latest free agency news.